What's going on? Move the mouse here, back in City Skylines, the town of Santa Rico, with our Let's Play Season 2, episode number 16. I believe I said the wrong episode number on the last one. I lose track here. Today's episode is going to be all about traffic. We have a couple problem intersections I want to start working on, but I want to start today's episode on a sad note. We actually have fire breaking out over here, right over by what I wanted to talk about. So the ice cube factory was the last remaining industrial building. It's like trees are catching fire over here. Let's targets on fire. Great. Okay. Hopefully they sort that out while we're talking about this. So the ice cube factory was the last remaining industrial building. I put the Statue of Industry right next to it, and then the other day when I checked, it had moved out, unfortunately. So we have Fine Fashions in its place now. Unfortunately, the ice cube factory is gone. So rip, ice cube factory, you served us well. So we'll see how long Fine Fashions lasts over here. I started to build a little office park and start to repurpose some of the old industrial zone. Started to build a little office and commercial zone over here as well. But let's break out the traffic view here and talk about one of the biggest problems that we're having. And that's a couple really problematic intersections. Now, we've only got one down here in Old Town that we need to worry about. We've got one over here on this side of the city. This area over here, basically everything that you see on screen, is super problematic, and I've screwed around trying to do some different things. Haven't really come up with a good fix yet. So this might be an off-camera project. I'm going to try and run some highways around, but let me show you what I'm thinking over here to fix this rotary, because this is a pretty quick fix that I have in mind. So we'll pause the game for a moment so that traffic doesn't get all messed up. And let's do some quick changes over here. We can blow out this power line because we don't need that right now. Now, I'm just going to do this with regular roads so that we can do a straight connection into that rotary. And then we can upgrade that to highway. Do I have to change our directions here? Yes, we do. Okay, so that buys us a little bit of space to work with on either side of that rotary. Now, just so I don't have to mess with my directions as much, let's break out the 2-lane one-way roads. We'll go on a straight tool, and I want to connect from this node to here. And we have to blow out this street to do it. And we have to move our recycling plants, which we actually don't need two of, right here next to the ultimate recycling center. So let's, rather than move these, let's just get rid of those. Hopefully our garbage production, hopefully our garbage processing is good, and we can always add those back in. We've got plenty of money in the bank if we need to rebuild some recycling plants. So we've cleared up this road now. I want to connect from here to here. And basically what this does is this, if I'm going right, which a lot of these cars are, they want to get on the highway. They don't have to hit the rotary to do that. Same thing getting off. They can just get off right here and go right. Now, I'm hoping if we go to the upgrade tool, switch this over to highway. This one's not going to be a problem, right? This one should be pretty straightforward. They should prefer this only when going into the city. They do have the option of turning left, however. If they think that that's a faster route, they shouldn't. They should think this is more direct, I would hope. Let's upgrade over here. Do the same thing. This one, because it's getting onto the highway, they only have the option to turn right. Now, another quick thing we can do is to buy ourselves a little bit of space. I want to upgrade these to 6-lane roads. Now, I do like the look of the 4-lane roads with the divider better, but if I wanted to get to this business, for example, on this side of the street, I can't get there from the far side of the road. I can't turn left because there's a median there. So I would have to come down, go to the rotary, come back in, and then turn right. So this is going to prevent people from needing to go to the rotary to get to the other side of the street. I'm hoping that this will help traffic down here. I want to do a quick check of our intersections because we've created stoplights where we don't necessarily need them. We don't need a stop sign here. We'll stop the slower traffic coming off the 2-lane roads on either side. We don't need to stop getting onto the rotary. And this traffic light should be okay. So let's go ahead and hit play. We'll go to 3 times speed and see if that resolved this traffic issue, or if it at least made it a little bit better. Traffic flow for the city right now is at 72%. I don't know that changing this one intersection is going to have a whole lot of impact. But hopefully if we give it a minute or two, we should at least see it change a little bit of color over here and improve a little bit. We can see that cars are preferring to take this exit, which is good when they're getting off and going right. They are stacking up at this intersection. But the thing that I wanted to watch out for is I want to make sure that they're not turning left coming off of here. That seems to be a little problematic. It's nice on the PC with Traffic Manager President Edition mod, because you can actually decide. See, somebody just turned left. 2 cars just turned left. Because you can decide and turn off certain lanes, right? You can say that I only want this to turn left or right or straight. Right now, they do have the option of turning back to the left to get back onto the rotary. I would hope that they would prefer this path instead. It seems like it would be shorter, but it's not always the case. But for the most part, most of that traffic is going where we want it to, which is a good thing. And right as I say that, another car turned left, and another one. But it is, as you can see, speeding up the traffic around this rotary. It's still very heavy, but it's not getting as backed up. We'll keep an eye on that, but hopefully these little improvements help this out a bit. What we really need to figure out down here is what to do with some of these problematic intersections. And if we bring up our info views over here, you can actually trace the traffic problem back. So yes, this is a problem, but where is that problem coming from? So it's coming from all the way down here, all these cars, that a lot of this traffic might be trying to get up to the highway. So let's look at where people are coming off the rotary. So some of them are going up that way. Some of these cars are trying to get down here. We've just got to come up with better ways to move traffic through the city. And to some extent, this setup worked a little bit better. Now, there's still a ton of traffic on the rotary itself, but we've got this highway that goes underneath the city and comes out way over here onto this rotary, which is handling traffic pretty well. So I want to come up with a couple different spots where we can do that. So right now we have these 2 highway exits, which are pretty close together. I've got to be careful how I divert traffic around here, because if we get a lot more traffic merging onto the highway, it might start to back things up. But we've also got to try and cram maybe another exit right here so that we can service and hopefully divert some traffic off of this exit and off of this exit and support this side of the highway, this office park that I want to build over here. Upgrading this road next will probably be pretty important. So right now we've got a 6-lane road becomes a 2-lane road out here. So I think we want to upgrade this road to support more traffic and then have kind of an interior road over here. And that will run along either side of this section, this neighborhood, basically, that I'll be building out next. Let's maybe frame that out, try and cram an exit in here, give people an excuse to at least start coming in this way and see what we can do. So let's start by upgrading this road. And we'll do that with the 6 lanes for now. I'm going to move a bunch of people out to do this. I don't think I've put any service buildings along this road, though, so it shouldn't give me any hassle about upgrading that. Now, up here, there's not going to be a lot of people turning right. But we can just keep the 6-lane road for aesthetics. And keep this going all the way down here up to the highway. I don't know why, like I can, so you can upgrade, or not upgrade, you can change directions and just hold the button, but that doesn't seem to work for the upgrade tool, which is kind of frustrating on console. You can do it very easily on PC by just holding left click on the upgrade tool or right click to change direction. I can hold that down and do direction change without having to press the button multiple times, but it doesn't work the upgrade for whatever reason. So that will support a ton of traffic. We can do kind of the same thing on the interior, but I think I want to figure out my highway exit first. So let's pause it. And I know ultimately we're trying to resolve over here, but part of that is going to be very dependent on the health of this exit that we're about to build, because we don't want to disrupt this flow coming onto the highway too much. I really want to try and tackle that with like an under-city highway. Maybe we can connect that up to this one. And we definitely want to do something over here with an exit over here that maybe connects from this highway, brings people into the city that way without them having to come up and around and through, because that's putting stress on these intersections, this one and this one here by the airport. So let's figure out how to get people off into this office park that we'll be building up next. We'll look for a relatively straight segment kind of in the middle here. We can curve it around after, that's fine. And we might cheat and start with the three-way intersection if it'll let me cram it in here. I don't think it will. Might have to de-zone some stuff or really hook this around to do it. Let's give ourselves some space to work with. Again, money is not really a concern right now. And we'll try and cram in a three-way. That's actually not too bad. I can make that work and not have to de-zone anybody. We do that. We'll come back one more length up to the exits and hook that in. And I guess I could be doing my sound barrier highways. So that'll work, and we can bring that traffic down to here and allow them to kind of fork off in either direction. So let's look at that. We'll bring this into a 6-lane road, and we'll just split our highway right down the middle. Back to highway tool, curved. You've probably seen me do this trick before, but come almost all the way down and then hook it in at the last second. And that will let you merge 3 lanes to 3 lanes into the 6-lane road. So we'll just change our direction here. So that'll help support this area. Hopefully it will encourage some people leaving, especially from this side of the zone or this side of this zone, to get on the highway over here instead of piling up over on this cloverleaf or coming up through here to get on the highway. Now this exit's fine, right? This is supporting a ton of traffic, but we want to try and divert some of the people from this, which was a problem intersection, though it is getting better. But it's going to get worse if we don't make some concessions for it as we build out this area next. So maybe we could do some roads off of here. I'm going to freeform these and come out. Helps if I select the freeform tool. Let's come out a little bit off that merge. Maybe we can curve it like that. And we don't necessarily need 6 lanes here. This is the prison, by the way. I finally threw that in. That was overdue. But I want people to kind of stick to these outer roads. Where can we hook this in over here? We could probably move some things around. So we'll have to move some buildings because this is the, department store and hypermart. This could be a 6-lane avenue that connects back up through here. Zoom way out to kind of make this flow nicely. So that could work to support kind of some heavy traffic through these zones. And let's move these and upgrade. So we're going to cause a bit of unemployment. We've got it in a pretty good spot right now. I think we were at 7% last time I checked. 6%. So we're gonna get rid of some jobs to do this, but let's move some stuff around and make this function a little bit better. Move this over here for now, and let's upgrade this segment through here. I think we can do that. Now, to fit this in here, I'm pretty sure we need to get rid of this road. And we'll bring this one over first, because this was on the corner. See if we can get that back in there now. That road curved just ever so slightly. Yeah, so we'll come 1 unit off the road. And then we'll move this one right next door. Or maybe not right next door. Maybe we could even leave 2 squares. That allows us just enough room to squeeze a T-stop in there if we wanted to. And let's see what's going to get de-zoned as a result of that. Because that did mess up our zoning just a little bit. We could move this fountain down now and eat up our office zoning. And it looks like we disconnected power at some point along the way. So where did we have our grid connected before? Oh, it was over here. Looks like we can make that work. We'll connect to that pylon. Let's see if that reconnects. I think it will. It's just barely in the zone. Looks like that did the trick. And that is a park, so that's not going anywhere, so we're good on that front. Kind of surprised this building hasn't moved out yet. Let's help that along. So now we can support a lot of traffic through this center area, up on this outer ring, coming all the way through here. Might be nice to 6-lane this, but we're gonna have to move a bunch of roads to do that. But I think let's do that. If I say roads, we're gonna have to move a bunch of structures to do that. So let's move some stuff around in the short term. So we'll have to move recycling and power. Let's make sure we move this somewhere where it's still connected to our grid. That should be okay. I think we're good with all those buildings. I don't think any of those are going to complain. This one will. We upgrade the roads there, but let's do this block by block. Then we'll move that one last. Oh, we've got to move the prison. So let's do this. We'll delete these 2 segments and then we'll curve this in with a 6-lane. And then we'll upgrade these roads. This is a little bit more natural of a bend. Let's start moving stuff back now. So we'll do this up to the end of this zone where it starts to bend. We'll move our recycling plant back over here on this corner. Now this is a prison up here. I'm wondering if we could find a better, more far removed spot rather than in the middle of our office park. So we could do like over behind the airport. We could do up here in the hills, really tuck it away. Let's tuck it away. And we'll run some power up there. See, how far can we get them to the edge of the map? That works. No one wants to live next to these guys. No offense, but... So that can work. We're going to need power. And we'll have to bring up water for them. That should cover just fine. And we'll connect it right into there in the grid. So they are all set, and let's move power back now. We put our fusion power plant over here. It doesn't really belong over here in the little residential area. That should do the trick. And I think we can demolish these power lines. Don't need to be here anymore. We could zone a little bit closer to the highway, bring some of these roads out, fill this in. So this will be kind of the next project. Kind of filling those little pockets in, giving us some more room for... we have a commercial need right now, but commercial kind of dependent on having residents nearby. And if we continue to build out over here, it's going to be really far from any residents. They, one, won't commute here to shop, and two, won't commute here to work, as you can see. So maybe we'll reserve some of this space in the interior for maybe even a little high-density residential over here. It should be far enough removed from the low density that it won't look out of place. You can see we're having a massive death spike again. If I go to city statistics... So every time it happens, it's the biggest death wave. So the next one is going to be basically the plague at this point. At the rate these death rates are increasing. The next one we're going to just have so many bodies, we don't even know what to do with them. But that will eventually fix itself. Again, if you haven't seen it, I've got the budget for healthcare all the way up, which increases the number of ambulances and hearses that are going to go pick up bodies. We do have to look at the traffic situation, because the traffic could be part of that, right? If they can't get there to pick up the bodies. But, you know, this side of the city isn't as bad on traffic, and it's having just as bad of a problem with bodies. So you can see there's only a couple problem intersections over here. Things are flowing pretty well on this side of the city. This is the piece that I really need to work on next, here and the airport interchange. And, you know, there's still plenty of bodies over here. So I want to keep this one short today because I haven't really decided what to do next with the highway under the city. But I've got to come up with a couple spots. I'm probably going to save it, blow out some major intersections, and keep messing around with it until I find something that works. And when I do, I'll do a really detailed breakdown of that, kind of what it looked like before and after. So let's just kind of take a look at those intersections. We'll put it on cinematic mode. And this is what we really need to fix. We have this cloverleaf exit, which handles this office park over here, and it comes down to the airport, which is a very problematic intersection, as you can see. Most of the traffic coming in from the highway is going to the airport. So we could create a bypass exit for that so that people can just come over here. In fact, why don't we do that real quick to see if that helps improve at least what you see on screen here, this backup right here. If we do a direct exit from, let's go from the highway just to make sure people aren't turning left, and bring them right into here. Nope, nope, nope. I just created a stoplight by doing that. So what can we do? Let's move this. Let's move this fire station. If we move it right there, does that still cover both the airports? Well, it does. And what that does is that frees us up to hook into right over here. These 2-lane roads that I used? Yeah, there's a car parked right there. I was wondering. So if we jump back into off-ramps, now we can curve this around a little bit differently and hook into here. So that way we're not creating an intersection, and the only thing that they can do is go to the airport, either international or regular. And I guess they could be coming to the space elevator as well. But hopefully that will divert some traffic. It looks like a lot of it is still trying to come around and into the city. So it's going to take some messing around. I'm going to do something similar to what we did over here with the underground highway. So that comes out through here and under the city to this rotary, which is pretty well serviced. So maybe we can do the same thing. We'll come from here, maybe come out, see if we can find a way to come out over here by the tourist and leisure districts. We'll come up with a couple creative spots, and I think this is going to require a lot of messing around because I didn't unfortunately plan ahead for this, and now I'm paying the price with stagnant city growth and tons of traffic. So I'm going to try and come up with a creative solution to this, break it down in the next video, because I think that's going to be really essential to the success of the city going forward. I'll probably also, to meet demand, start to fill out this area a bit, so you'll see some changes there by the next time we you'll see some changes up here by the next video. But as you can see, we kind of laid the framework for this, and it's just a matter of kind of filling it in, meeting the especially the commercial and office demand right now. And I'm coming around to it. I might buy one of these tiles next, maybe even do a little industry area and get us finally connected to outside trains. I think that could be good. And we haven't really looked at other public transit options. So maybe I could reduce some traffic by having some more bus routes, having things like train access to get us around major parts of the city if we can find a spot to squeeze in a couple stations. It'd be kind of nice to sneak one in somewhere near Central Park. I really like the look of above ground train tracks, but I think we're going to do it based on a tunnel system just because this is so dense and I'm going to have to rip out so much stuff if I was to run a train through here. But let me know your thoughts. That's probably going to be a couple episodes down the road. I know I record a couple of these before I post them sometimes, but I'll wait to hear from you on what you think about trains. In the meantime, I will look at bus routes. We'll add some taxis in, and we'll see what we can do to improve the highway situation, because right now traffic is killing me and I can't get to all the bodies to pick them up. So if you enjoyed the video, as always, likes, comments, shares help the channel a lot and are greatly appreciated. If you're new here, subscribe, hit the bell to get notifications, and until the next one, when we'll hopefully have a much more functioning traffic grid and highway system, this is Move the Mouse signing off.